This is the recipe that's going to help reveal one of the biggest lies about big food all around the world. This is an updated version of one of my recipes, and I'm going to show you why it is so important that you understand what is truly in your food, because this is not food. And I'm going to explain to you why you are wasting probably more of your money for less actual product than you even realize if you are still eating things like this. Y'all buckle up, because this is going to be a big one. We are exposing a food lie here today with cheeseburger casserole and some junk in a bag on Chris Cookin' Nashville. So it has been so long since I've been to a McDonald's, I don't actually even know which one we're going to right now. I think it's the closest one. I just need to do a number one large, thank you. Okay, so that's a large number one, which is the Big Mac meal. And that's basically coming out to about $10. And that's in our particular location. That's gonna vary in price based on where you are. Keep in mind, I used to get a couple of other sandwiches to go along with that, and did not stick with just one sandwich.
Back in the day.
Back in the day. Thank you. There it is, $9.76, and it's actually a little cheaper here than it is in some metro areas. Thank you, have a good day. All right, $10 worth of food. Let's take it back and see what we got. You know, for $10, I would really hope to be able to get more than this, but unfortunately, this is just what food has become to so many people. I'm gonna feed you so much better with so many better ingredients and things that are going to make you feel your best on a proper human diet. You do not need this junk, and you don't need to feed your kids and your friends and your other family members this kind of stuff. And you definitely don't need to waste so much money on all of this. Let's take a look at what we're actually fighting against. So this is the large meal. I'm going to pop up the macros on the screen for you guys. Just a general estimate. This is going to, of course, change and be modified a little bit, but this is roughly what we are dealing with. We have the classic double-decker burger that we all know and love, supposedly. Large French fries, and they didn't even fill the fry container. Now, granted, those are not good for us, and we know that, but they didn't even give us the full container of fries for the money that we paid. So let's look at what we actually have. The only part of this that is actually maybe somewhat good for you, and that's even questionable, is this. Look at the pathetic amount of meat that is in one of these sandwiches. There are 2 of these patties, which total just over 3 ounces of meat. And this is what we are paying $10 for. I think that is an absolute shame, because the amount of nutrition that is in this is so low. This is not good for you, especially for how much it costs. And the convenience factor is really not that convenient. It was a pain to go through traffic and sit in the drive-thru, or have to actually get out and walk in. God forbid we do something like that with our lives. I've shown you the macros for this. Let me show you a comparison of the macros with the cheeseburger casserole that I'm going to show you guys how to make today. Just look at these numbers side by side. The cheeseburger casserole that I am about to make costs roughly $7 a person. So we are saving $3, and look at the difference in the macros. The calorie count is fairly close, but look how much protein and how much fat we are getting by making real food at home that is not this packaged junk coming through the drive-through window. And if you're interested, drop it in the comments. Tell me, would you like me to also show you a keto burger sauce that makes that Big Mac sauce look terrible by comparison? I'm gonna link all of the ingredients in the description box that are specialty things you might need. And I'm gonna give you the recipe card on my website that has all the details for free, so you can go and make this dish for your family and stop wasting your money on all the junk. So let's go ahead and make this cheeseburger casserole and throw out the junk today here in the Chris Cookin' Nashville kitchen. All right, y'all, this could not be more simple. Now, the original version of this recipe that I have done on my channel is one of my most viewed videos of all time. I will link that video down below, but I'm going to apologize right now for how long and boring and horribly filmed that was. I had no clue what I was doing. But if you'd like to see the original, feel free. This is an updated version. That one was good. This is great. I have ground beef. And this is about 1.25 pounds to 1.5 pounds is what you're going to want. You can use whatever kind you want. I'm using 80/20, so it's got enough fat for flavor. All I did was brown that, season it however you want. I have some diced red onion. Now, this is an optional one. If you're carnivore or just don't like the onion, leave it out. For Ash, we really like a little bit of the onion in this, so I'm gonna put in diced red onion directly in with the hamburger meat. Now at this point, you get to do some more customization. You can use various condiments, whatever you like. You don't have to use anything at all. You can just stick with this. I'm gonna go ahead and add in some mustard because we really enjoy mustard with our burgers. How much mustard are you using? As much as feels right to you. If you like it, use a bunch. If you don't like it, don't use any. If you want just a little, use just a little. It really is up to you. Don't have to be that picky about it. Now, if you wanted to add some sugar-free ketchup or any other condiments of your choosing, feel free. The only one I would not recommend is my spreadable butter mayonnaise, because when that bakes, it's probably all gonna separate. So stay away from that, add that on later, or even better, make that keto burger sauce. If you would like me to show you that recipe, make something like that with the butter mayonnaise, and you can put that on later. Now, this ground beef mixture is basically room temperature. I'm gonna go ahead and add an egg and mix that all through. It's just gonna make the burger mixture more cohesive when it bakes as a casserole. You don't have to. If you like it looser, feel free to leave it looser, but I'm gonna crack in an egg, mix it all together real well, similar to the way you would make a meatloaf. You could mix shredded cheese into this. I'm actually not going to do that. I'm gonna go for more of that cheeseburger vibe where the cheese is gonna be on the top. So before we add any cheese to this, we're gonna go ahead and put this in a casserole dish. Now, I'm making a half recipe. That's what I'm going to put on the recipe card. So a half recipe is 2 really large servings or 4 smaller servings if you want to maybe add something else with it. And the macros that I'm showing you in this video are for half of the casserole dish I'm about to make. So if you made 4 servings out of this, you would actually cut those macros in half even further. So it's really up to you how hungry you are and how much you want. This is about a 6x9, something like that. You just need it to fit the meat plus some topping, which we're going to talk about in a second. Now, as I put this into the casserole dish, I'm going to press this down and compress it as much as I can. That's gonna make this mixture more cohesive, so when you bake it, it's gonna hold together a little bit better. Now, I already mixed some mustard into the mix, but I'm actually gonna put a little bit more over the top, so we have just a little distinct layer of mustard. That's gonna be right under the cheese. Now, if you have already put the cheese in there, yours is ready for the topping. Mine's not quite there, so I'm gonna put some mustard, then some cheese, and then we're gonna talk about the topping to make this a real casserole. I took an 8-ounce block of cheddar and I sliced it up into these pieces. Now, if you're one of those people who is trying to use a little bit less cheese in your diet, but you still really enjoy it and want to have some, this is a really great way to do this. Makes it a little bit easier to taste the cheese without including so much of it in the recipe. So I'm going to put a layer of cheddar over the top. Use whatever kind of cheese you like. Don't use any cheese if you don't want cheese. It is entirely up to you. Now, other things you could include in this: bacon, dill pickles, pickle relish. I'm actually gonna have some dill pickle relish on top of it as a garnish later, but totally optional again. You can include whatever you want. So customize this however you would like it to be. And then we put the topping on. Let's talk about what this is. This bowl is filled with my cornbread mixture, my carnivore cornbread. Chris, if it doesn't have any corn in it, why are you calling it cornbread? I don't know. It tastes like cornbread, so I called it cornbread. Like, you know, deal with it, I guess. So the carnivore cornbread mixture is what we're going to use to top this. This is a half batch, because again, I'm making a half recipe. So I'm just gonna pour this over the top, and then we get ready to bake. I'm gonna turn off the noise reduction and see if you guys can hear this. You hear that slightly hollow sound in there? That is the air that has been created inside of our bread burger topping on the casserole. That's how I actually used to test the sourdough loaves in the micro bakery that I owned back before I knew what keto and carnivore were. And I made handmade artisan sourdough, and that's how I knew they were cooked on the inside and they were nice and risen and fluffy, because I could hear that hollow sound. So that's what I'm looking for. That looks amazing. Let's go ahead and dish it up. Let's give it a taste test. All right, guys, that is the updated cheeseburger casserole, which is way better than the junk that came in that bag through the drive-through window.
Definitely.
It's so much better for you. I can't wait to taste this and see if we think it's better than what we would remember that junk as being as well. Let's dig in, and then we'll talk about the price and the numbers.
It looks so good.
It is like eating a fast food cheeseburger.
But better? Wow. This is absolutely delicious. It's like a Big Mac.
Mm-hmm.
It literally is like eating a Big Mac, but in a casserole form. So delicious. I even think you could put, like if you're keto, some, lettuce on the top.
Yeah.
Your sauce, by the way, is incredible. Love the seasoning. Your topping is amazing. This is like a great burger bun.
Yeah.
Incredible flavor. And bonus points for the little sesame seeds on top.
Yeah.
I am obsessed with this. This is so freaking good.
Yeah. You can customize this however you want. So if you're more keto, feel free to add the lettuce, add more of the condiments, whatever you want. If you're trying to save some money, cut back on some of those things, you can do that. There's all kinds of ways to do this. And here's basically how this breaks out. So this is a good size serving, and this is lots of protein. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna put the macros again to remind you guys what my casserole is. Now those numbers are for half the casserole I just made. What is on my plate is a quarter of the casserole. So this is half the amount of what you're seeing on the screen. This comes out for that whole casserole to be somewhere in the range of about $14 to $15. So that's me feeding both of us for about $7 to $8 max a piece. And that's including the specialty powders like whey protein, egg white powder, all of that. You use such a small amount of it that if you actually take a container and you break it down by serving size and you calculate how much of that container you used, it's not very much. So even though those powders look expensive, you're only using small amounts of them, especially for a recipe like this. It's really, really budget friendly. So about $7 a person for half of that casserole dish. But truthfully, you could probably eat a quarter of it, add something else along with it, and be full because of the amount of protein and fat in this. This also tastes amazing.
Also, very simple. It took you like no time to make this.
Nope. So what you do is you make the ground beef. While it is sitting there and cooling down, you make the mixture for the topping. It's ready to go. You mix everything together and throw it in the oven, and you go finish everything else you need to do while this bakes. This took about 22 minutes for me. If you do the full size recipe in like a 9x13 casserole dish, you might have to bump the temperature down some and go up to maybe 35 or 40 minutes. It just kind of depends. And if it's browning too much on top and not getting cooked all the way through, you can cover it with some foil. It's not a problem. Now, you could, if you wanted to, make this, bake it, and then freeze it in portions, and you could pull it out and you could put it back in either a low oven, or if you're the microwave type, you could heat it up. It will hold together. It's not gonna be as good as fresh, but it will still hold together. The mixture is not gonna like fall apart or get mushy on you. Good?
It's amazing. I have literally eaten almost the whole piece.
Yeah.
This is definitely the best casserole I've ever had.
You take this to a family gathering, there is not a single person that is gonna know this is a keto or carnivore dish. Well, now that we know this is so good, there's really only one thing left to do. Now that we have this cheeseburger casserole recipe, I think we know what to do with this. Leave the golden arches alone. Don't waste your money. Don't spend all that money to get absolutely nothing for it. Don't deal with the junk food that is in the system out there that everyone is telling you is somehow affordable or good for you. It's not. You're not getting the nutrition for your money. This is a much better way to do it. And especially if you have kids that like this kind of stuff, you can customize this and make this really good, and they're going to thoroughly enjoy eating it. I appreciate you guys watching. All the links are down below. Of course, the recipe card is on my website. Our private community, The Band, where you get extra recipes and live streams and fun support and all kinds of things, is also linked down there. We would love to see you in it. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Chris Cook in Nashville, the beautiful Ash Taylor. You guys eat your meat, especially when it's like this and it doesn't come from the drive-through window. Love your life. We'll see you in the kitchen for a bunch of crazy recipes that help you save money and get better nutrition. And if you like this cheeseburger casserole, you got to check out this one right over here.
I did not enjoy that at all. Do you think you can make some carnivore French fries to go along with this?